All right, let's make the basket weave pattern blanket. So what you need is scissors, a lighter, and I used 3 bundles of yarn for this pattern. So I am starting with a slip knot. Don't make it too tight. It's about 2 fingers width. And I did a total of 21 loops for this pattern. So if you want to make it bigger, you would do increments of 8. So you do all your loops. Make sure you have your 21 loops. And when you are at this point, you will take your chain and you will turn it over. So now your working yarn is going up. We will now find the little dragging bumps right there. Sometimes they're hiding. You can't always see them, but they are in between. Let me try to show you. You have to kind of find them. Let me get a little closer. They're in there. Those are the little bumps you want to knit. See, sometimes you have to kind of dig them up a little bit. But they are in there, look. So many people say they can't find them, but yeah, you just have to look for them. So we will purl these little dragging bumps. Don't worry about that first loop, but when you purl, you come from the outside and you push it through like this. So you get that little bump and you push it upward like this. And the reason we're doing it this way is because the back side is going to be our front side on this pattern. And you will see when we get a little bit further. So you want the front side to have the same braid as when you cast off in the end. See, that will be the front right there with a pretty braid. All right, so we are all the way in the end and we're ready to go. So get your yarn up and about there, and don't worry about that very last loop to the left. We will catch that on our way back. I never knit them going because I like that pretty edge. So we will work in 5s and in 3s. So now we're starting the pattern. So the little thumb we didn't knit count as 1, and that was 2, now 3, 4, and 5. They are regular knits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next 3 will be purls, where you will pull the yarn up front and pull it through. It's such a pretty pattern. Just takes maybe a little bit of focus sometimes. So you will pull it through. Don't have them too loose. Kind of keep the loops close together. So that was your 3 purls. Now you will do again 5 knits. And your 3 purls from the front. And then the last 5 would be knits, including that little thumb, as I call it, the thumb loop in the end. So you will do the exact same going back. So you will do the 5 knits and 3 purls. And we will do that at a total of 3 rows. And don't knit that first one, but it still counts at your first. And it's a little bit easier the second row because the loops are already kind of ready to go. You can see the 5 are sticking up there, so those are knits. 3 purls. And then the last 5 will be knits. That one too. The thumb, as I call it. So one final row with the same pattern. Three purls. So again, the back side would be the front side, technically. All right, so now we have done 3 rows with this pattern. So now we will do 1 full row of purl. All of them will be purl. So you pull your yarn forward and you will come from the front and you will pull it through. Again, leave that first one alone and just do purls with the rest. This is also a good time if you want to change your color. You want to do that when you do a full row of purl. And I will show you another little secret I have next time we will do this. It makes it a little bit easier. A lot of times it's hard to keep the loops consistent when you do purls. I have a lot of people telling me it's not, they're not very consistent, but I have a secret. And you will knit that last one. That is not a purl, that is a knit. All right, so now we will do the opposite. So we did 5 knits and 3 purls. Now we will do 3 purls and then 5 knits. So we will do the opposite. And here the little thumb is not counting. We will do 3 purls right here. And then you have 5 knits. So they're kind of hiding there, so make sure that you count them all. Take your time and don't rush it, so just count. Sometimes I'll say 5 and 3, 5 and 3. So you just have to do whatever works for you. And now you do 3 purls. It is actually one of my favorite patterns. But then again, I like them all. They're all so much fun to make. And the last one will be a knit. So again, we go 3 rows total till we will change it up again. You have your 3 purls. And 5 knits. And I added flowers to mine in the end. I do have a flower tutorial in one of my uploaded videos. You can go back and check, but that is just optional, of course, and I just had fun doing that. This is the final row. So now again we have 3 rows. And remember, we did the yarn from the front to do a whole row of purl. But if you have issues with keeping them consistent, you can turn the whole blanket over and then do a full row of knit. So this is your top side. So now you just knit all of them. And if you're confused, then your tail will always be on your left. That's the side you are working on. And remember, those little loops are hiding underneath, so make sure you grab them all. Do a count once in a while. So this is a full row of regular knit, but now you have to remember to turn the blanket back over again. So pretend you just did a full row of purl. So now we would change it up again, where we would start with 5 knits. So every 3 rows you will just change it and do the opposite. So that's your 5 purls, knits, and now 3 purls. All 3 times. Here we are again. I just did 3 rows and I am almost out of yarn, so I need to get my next bundle of yarn connected. And unless you changed your color, you don't want to change color in the middle of the blanket, then you would have had to done it when you did the full row of a purl. But it's the same color right now, so it's okay. You can tie a knot, or you can fuse them together like I will. But if you are not comfortable with that, just tie a knot. You can totally do that. And don't burn yourself, please. The yarn is 100% polyester, so don't worry about it burning. There's a little string in the middle that will melt together. That's how it sticks together. And yes, it's washing very well too, in cold water only, gentle cycle. So we have another row of purls. We can do it that way, or again, we can turn the blanket over. Look how pretty it is. Yeah, they are leaning inward, so make sure you get those leaning loops. Just remember you are on the right side of the blanket now, but that's not the side we are working on. So remember to turn it back over again. So now we will do the opposite again. So we're starting with 3 purls and then 5 knits. It's super simple. So now let's change the color. It's a little bit darker. So make sure that you're all the way to the end. And I pull out the last and the second to the last loop because I want my first loop to be the next color. Make sure it sticks. Give it a little tuck test. And then look, it's perfect. And you will continue your pattern like this. So now it's a full row of purl again, because that's where we want to change our color. So again, turn it over if you're more comfortable with that, or you can do your full row of purl. And as I said, I just added some flowers to it because I thought it was a basket weave blanket. So I thought it would be super cute with little spring flowers on it. So of course, that's a preference. You can play around with it, or you can just keep it as it is. See, now the right side, you cannot see that little change of color because this is the side you want up and this is the side we are working on. You can see how the two different colors are there, which is super pretty too. And you can totally do either side up. That's again a preference. So now we will do pearls because last time we did our 5 knits. So you can always tell because the pearls are horizontal and the knits are straight. Look how pretty. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's close it off. And that is the this is the right side of the blanket where I have the beginning chain. Look how pretty it is. So you also want to close it off on the right side so the casting off braid looks the same. Oh, you don't have to. They're all pretty. And casting off is the same as I have other tutorials already, but you will knit that second one and then you will grab that loop like with your first loop. You will kind of eat it like this. And don't keep it too tight because you don't want your blanket to curl. So keep these loops a little bit bigger. Look at that pretty braid. Cut it in the end and close it off. Tighten it, but not too hard because it can break. And then I just do one more knot to secure it. And then I will cut the little excess yarn and fuse the end into the blanket. So please let me know how you like this blanket, and also don't forget to subscribe. Look at that, that's with the flowers.